Good morning, guys. It's 11/23/2012, 10:04 a.m. I just wanted to do a little video here before I get on to working on my garden and building the new firmament for Mother Earth. uh, the incoming solar flares today. I don't know whether they've already gotten here early, which I thought they were supposed to be here this evening, or this is the 11th gate energies that are really setting in this morning. It's pretty intense. They feel fantastic. They certainly do. I was speaking with Lucas yesterday, and it seems that there's many spiritual bloggers. Gene Haynes, Kev Pele, possibly Steve Bacow, several others who, now that it's the end of 2012 and they've gotten to this point, they say that they might be shutting down and quitting. And I want to say, hey, guys, wait, hold on. This is just beginning. As we went through the 11th gate activation yesterday, and we're coming up on the lunar eclipse, and then 12/12/12 coming up, and then 12/21. This is only just beginning, people. You can't leave now. Don't leave the party. At 12/21, the way that it's setting up is the global true awakening and beginning of the ascension, or the enlightenment, the activation of the spiritual beings of the whole planet. And with that, if it's happening like we're seeing set up right now, these guys aren't even going to know what's going on. And we have to be there to describe best we can the process of ascension, personal ascension. You know, if we've got 7 billion people that suddenly are brought to a state of enlightenment out of total darkness, not even having heard of ascension before, don't you think that that's going to be a little bit of chaos and a lot of freaking out for some of these people? Do you remember the processes that you've gone through? I remember the processes I've gone through, and each stage and step of the way, just like heart chakra activation, was like stepping into a whole totally new and different life. Nobody can understand the power of a spinning enlightened heart chakra, like a nuclear power plant getting turned on and put online, until you experience that. You cannot understand the bliss, the heaven that you step into. And if we have masses of people on this globe that are experiencing this because of the solar flares, because of this spiritual time in Earth's history called the Ascension, you know, we're going to have to be there to help them out. And so don't leave the party, people. Take a break, yeah, but try to perceive what's ahead. Still, after that, once people start waking up and becoming empowered because their chakras are lighting up and activating, we've got a whole world mess to clean up. A lot of people have thought that we're going to have first contact and disclosure, and we'll gain all that technology to clean up Mother Earth. And that might be a truth. It's certainly a timeline. It's a possibility. Will that actually manifest? I don't know. But what I do know is as we go through our Ascension Mastery process, just like the 11th gate activation yesterday that occurred on 11/22/2012, this happens because of having the divine thought, having the vision, speaking it forth, feeling it from your heart, your connection to the field and your solar plexus chakra, connection to humanity and to everybody else that's on planet and all other consciousness through your sacral chakra, and your connection to Mother Earth through the root chakra, which completes the circuit and allows your vision and that which you invoke to come forth into manifestation. In days like yesterday, it takes a minimum mass number of people to join together in that same focused thought, that same intent of which they envision to have a global activation process. That 11th gate yesterday couldn't have happened with just a handful of people. Now, we still have a compromised seafloor in the Gulf of Mexico that's leaking oil. It has the potential to pollute all of the oceans because it's going to continue, and that's a huge reservoir, and 1 quart of oil can mess up a whole square mile of land, and this thing's leaking nonstop, and it will continue. It's the biblical bottomless pit. That's why they call it the bottomless pit, and only the Christ can close it. The Christ is those of us who are activated, who have stepped into ascension mastery. I've been saying this all my lifetime. I knew I was part of the biblical bottomless pit, Revelation 9, which was in my front yard while I was still living in Ocean Springs. I mean, quite literally, it was right there, right south of me. And I knew I was a part of it. And I also have been saying all my life, ever since I've been talking about that it's the Christ that closes it back up, that seals it, that stops it. That Christ is all of us, people. That Christ is all of us who have moved our consciousness from the duality, plurality of the brain into the heart and activated our heart chakras. That is us. We are the Christed ones. We have stepped into Christ consciousness when you do that. We have stepped into our ascension mastery and our enlightenment when you do that. Now, here's the deal. We're going to need, and I don't know how many people on planet to do this, but we're going to need to join together in a single unified focus, not just with hundreds of thousands of people or 144,000 people, but with 1 billion people to shift the reality. We have the Gulf oil spill. We've got Fukushima. We've got the North Sea gas leak, which I would imagine after seeing what was going on, I haven't seen any news from it recently, but you know, if that was leaking several miles below the surface of the earth, and it was one of the largest natural gas pools in the North Sea, how could it stop? How could it be stopped? These things, we do not have technology available to us without first contact and disclosure, without ET help. We do not have the technology to close these, but we might not need it. If our thoughts create our reality and that which we experience on the exterior is an illusion, then we gather together as one in a singular, unified, focused thought. At the same time, we can change the whole illusion. We can, in the same way, step the collective of humanity in a much higher dimensional awareness to where it's not even recognizable like what we see right now. We can do these things, and we're going to have to do these things. And that is the test coming up after the rest of humanity finally wakes up and steps on their ascension mastery process. We will come together and we will shift these things in a single, unified, focused thought and in an instant. But you can't leave the game at this point. You can't stop as things are just beginning. What has just happened with the 1122 11th gate of the 1111 doorway activation, it did not close as so many of us thought it would. 21 years ago when we opened the doorway, we thought that there was going to be a minimum number of persons that did their mastery this time. It would not be the whole planet. Now that we're in at the end of it, the doorway did not close. And it's not going to close. It's going to stay open for every human on this planet to walk through and into their mastery. And it will be so much easier for them than it was on us that have taken me 50 years this lifetime alone to go through my process. It will be so much easier on every other person because they have not got to feel their way through the darkened room trying to find that light switch inside their heart. Everybody else on this planet who is activated has put that knowledge, that understanding, that feeling, and that ease of transition into the grid for the newbies to experience. And they're going to, and they're getting ready to happen. And that's the whole reason why the 11th gate of the 1111 doorway did not close, because everybody on this planet has already made the conscious choice as of the past solar eclipse that occurred on 11/14, I guess it was. That message that I got then, everybody's coming through. I'm not the only person receiving that message. I've got confirmation from everywhere, from all over the place. People are receiving the same message. Everybody's coming through. Well, with that the whole ball game has just changed. And our mission is not ending now. We're not leaving planet as we thought 25 years ago, as we had the harmonic convergence. We opened the 1111 doorway. We thought literally we might be leaving planet. Not. That's not happening. Mother Earth is ascending, and so is the collective of humanity. And we got to clean up this mess. And that mess will be cleaned up through conscious awareness, through unified focused thought, through thought matter manifestation, as I used to call it. And that's the next part of this process. We have got to come together as one. And there are different people out there trying to put together at this time various places where all the global leaders can come together as one to have a certain spot where we can go and we can share information and we can send out the information to everybody and have everybody participate as the one singular being. Granted, if we did it on television or radio, it might be much easier to reach the masses, but right now we're not in control of the media at this point in time. So, anyway, that's the next phase, is we've got to start joining together and we've got to start speaking as one, being as one. Yesterday, part of the mudras was the containment of the duality, the flipping of the duality into oneness, the Interion conversion. But the Interion conversion really is going up. It's not going down. We are coming out of duality, and just like we've explained, we're spiraling to the center point of time, 2012, 12, and that's like the vortex that we shift through, and then we spiral back out of the duality that we were playing in into the oneness and into the new Aquarian age. And we've got to now start looking at how we all can come together in oneness and still being our individual selves. I'm still, I like who I am, and I'm not dropping body, and I'm not merging my personality or losing my personality. The ego part of me, my old identification with Bill Ballard, might be collapsing so that my greater and higher spiritual self comes in and rules the body. That is more that side of the oneness. But as oneness, you are the same thing. You're a great spiritual being in your body, just like I'm a great spiritual being that is experiencing my illusion in this body. And when the whole family of humanity wakes up, we've got to bring them up to speed, help to teach them that it's all an illusion and to join together in unified focused intent. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Love you all. Bye for now.